Hey, in this video I'm going to make my predictions on this season's Champions League group stage. I'm going to share a little bit of information on each team and each group and give you my order of where I think they'll finish. While each group may look obvious, I've gone with my gut on a few. I'm not here to upset any fans, so if you disagree with my prediction, that's absolutely fine. Make sure to come back in December and tell me how wrong I was. Lastly, after the groups are done, I'm going to give you the rest of my predictions for the knockouts. Stick around for that. Without further ado, let's begin. Starting with Group A, Bayern Munich, Atletico Madrid, Red Bull Salzburg and Lokomotiv Moscow. Last year's champions, Bayern Munich, currently sitting 4th after 3 games in the Bundesliga, scoring 13 goals including 8 at Schalke and 4 at Hertha Berlin. Lewandowski already getting 5 for the season. A big fan of new signing Leroy Sané and hoping to see him get some game time this season. Coutinho, Thiago and Perisic have all left the club, which will be a major loss in the midfield. Atletico Madrid with 1 win and 2 draws, scoring 6 against Granada on the opening day, with new signing Luis Suarez getting 2 of the goals already. Already a strong defensive side as we know, they will be hoping to improve their attack with Luis Suarez. Red Bull Salzburg already with 4 wins from 4 in Austria with 17 goals and only 4 conceded. A season in Europe without Haaland could be tricky, they will be hoping to secure Europa in this group. Lastly, Lokomotiv Moscow with 5 wins from 10 in Russia. 11 goals and 7 conceded, most notably a 1-0 away win to CSKA Moscow. Their season in Europe will all depend on their 2 results against Salzburg. My final outcome for Group A, Bayern Munich 1st, Atletico Madrid 2nd, Red Bull Salzburg 3rd and Lokomotiv Moscow 4th. Moving on to Group B, Real Madrid, Shakhtar Donetsk, Inter Milan and Borussia Mönchengladbach. Real Madrid currently 1st in the Liga with 3 wins from 4 games, slow to scoring but still have no problem when it comes to the Europe's top competition. Losing Gareth Bale and James Rodriguez should not come at any loss since they never got the game time anyways. Still a fantastic side, but I do feel like in the knockout stages they are going to struggle. Shakhtar Donetsk unbeaten in 5 games but only with 2 victories. They've scored 10 goals so far, with Alan Patrick already their leading goal scorer. I wonder if it's too late for him to declare for Ireland. The name alone should be enough. Inter Milan, a team filled with quality as they continue to sign some more outstanding players. Hakimi, Kolarov, Vidal and Perisic all joining the club. Currently 4th with 2 wins, they've no bother scoring goals, with Romelu Lukaku and Martinez already scoring 3 each. They're set to play AC Milan in the derby 4 days before their Champions League campaign begins. Hopefully they can come out of that with no injuries. Borussia Mönchengladbach with a strong start with 2 wins from 3, their only defeat coming to Borussia Dortmund on the first day of the season, which was a 3-0 loss away. Unfortunately didn't make it out of the group stages last year of the Europa League, however I do feel like they could trouble all the other teams in this group, which would maybe give them a chance of grabbing the 3rd place in this group and getting them Europa knockouts this season. My final outcome for Group B and my first surprise of the video, Inter Milan to top the group with Real Madrid coming 2nd, Shakhtar Donetsk making 3rd for Europa and Borussia Mönchengladbach finishing 4th. Next up we have is Group C with Porto, Manchester City, Olympiacos and Marseille. Porto currently sitting 3rd in Portugal, 2 wins from their 3 games, Mariga and Oliveira still scoring goals like it was any other season. After selling Alex Telles to Manchester United, who already had 2 goals himself this season and 11 in total last season, it will be interesting to see how their replacement shapes up. Manchester City, our first English side of the tournament, currently not looking like the team we know them from the Premier League, missing Sergio Aguero and Gabriel Jesus. A poor 5-2 defeat to Leicester before the international break, they will be hoping their new signing Ferran Torres will be able to make a quick impact to their side. Pep will also be hoping that Nathan Ake and Ruben Diaz will be the answer to their defensive problems. Without a leading striker at the moment, I think they will find it tough to get out of the group, even with the likes of De Bruyne, Sterling and Mahrez. Olympiacos unbeaten in 3 games with 2 clean sheets and 6 goals so far, which would be seen as a good start in any league. Getting Europa last season and knocking out Arsenal in the knockouts was the highlight last season, before eventually being stopped by Wolves. We'll be hoping for a similar story this season, perhaps even better if they can upset any of the 2 teams above them. Marseille, currently mid-table in the French league, going into the international break without a win in 4 games. Their last win was at the start of September, a 1-0 victory against Paris Saint-Germain in a game with a dramatic ending consisting of 5 red cards in the final few minutes. A poor performance last season in the Europa League, only managing to finish with 1 point, they will be hoping to do a little bit better this season, especially in the Champions League. My final outcome for Group C, despite what I said about injuries, I still believe Manchester City will finish first, with Porto coming in second, Olympiacos going third for Europa, and Marseille unfortunately still finishing fourth. Right, next up we have is Group D, one that I know a lot of people will be interested for. It's Liverpool, Ajax, Atalanta and Midtjylland. Liverpool already looking strong after last year's title win. 3 wins from 4 games, including a win over Arsenal and Chelsea, before a freak result 7-2 defeat to Aston Villa. New signings, Thiago and Jota would be a great signing to the midfield and attacking trio. If Alisson is still injured and Gomez continues to have nightmares of Ollie Watkins, they could look a little uneasy in this group stage. Ajax with quite a decent pre-season, unbeaten in 9 games, including a win over Red Bull Salzburg and Eintracht Frankfurt, followed by 3 wins and 4 in the league. Only scored 4 goals this season, with Tadic and Quincy Promes a little quiet so far compared to last season. Atalanta, who were a surprise package last season as they made their Champions League debut, getting to the quarter-finals and almost knocking out Paris Saint-Germain if it wasn't for 2 90th minute late goals. They finished third in the Italian league last year, scoring 98 goals compared to the champions Juventus, who only managed to score 76. This season they currently sit first with 3 wins from 3 games, scoring for fun with 13 goals already and only conceding 5. The next game against Napoli should be interesting to see how they've returned from the international break. Midtjylland are first debutant of this season's Champions League, but unlike Atalanta, I just can't see them causing much trouble to anyone in this group. Only 4 goals so far in Norway, and it'll probably be just happy to hear the music play at the start of each game. Enjoy it, lads. My final outcome for Group D, though many of you won't agree with it, I think Atalanta will top the group, followed by Liverpool, Ajax with 3rd place for Europa, and Midtjylland finishing rock bottom. Moving on to Group E, we have Seville, Chelsea, Krasnodar and Stade Rennes. Seville with 2 wins from 3 games, an away 1-1 draw against Barcelona. They took Bayern Munich to extra time in the UEFA Super Cup final, unfortunately losing 2-1 at the end. Rakitic and Suso signings in the 64 million spent after the Europa League victory, however losing veteran Ever Banega could be a huge loss in the midfield. Chelsea having a mixed start in the Premier League with only 1 loss in 3 games. They are scoring goals, but the new signings Timo Werner and Kai Havertz have yet to make their mark on English soil. New keeper Mendy, who was signed from Stade Rennes, will be hoping to be a successful replacement for Kepa. Krasnodar from Russia, who are the 2nd debutant in this year's Champions League, currently 8th in Russia with 4 wins and 3 draws in 10 games. They've scored 18 goals thanks to a 7-2 victory, last year finishing 3rd, 5 points off Lokomotiv Moscow, who were 2nd, however 20 points behind Zenit Petersburg. Stade Rennes are another debutant in this year's Champions League, and I believe they are the best of the lot. They currently sit first in France after 6 games with 4 wins and 2 draws, most notably a 2-1 win over Monaco. With 14 goals scored and 9 of them coming away from home, I would not be surprised if they took points off Seville or Chelsea. Another difficult group to call, however my final outcome is Seville first, followed by Chelsea in second, Stade Rennes in 3rd for Europa and Krasnodar 4th. Group F next, with Zenit St. Petersburg, Borussia Dortmund, Lazio and Club Brugge. Zenit currently first in the Russian league after 10 games. They've got 6 wins and scored 21 goals, with Artem Dzyuba scoring 6 so far. Borussia Dortmund have 2 wins from their 3 games, with 7 goals scored so far. They lost the DFL Super Cup against Bayern Munich 3-2. Haaland's already got himself 4 goals this season in the league. He managed to score 13 goals from January for them last season. Now he's got a full season to start and see where he goes. Lazio after 3 games have 1 win, a loss and a draw each so far. They were on the receiving end of one of Atalanta's wins this season as they lost 4-1 at home, but they bounced back to draw 1-0 with Inter Milan the next week. Immobile was the European top goal scorer last year, and hoping to help Lazio get out of the group stage this year. Club Brugge with 6 wins from 8 games, having a strong start and 21 goals, which should be good to keep the confidence high. They got no wins in last season's group stage, however they did get 3 draws, including one against Real Madrid, which helped them get into the Europa League. My final outcome for Group F, a little bit tricky, with Borussia Dortmund finishing top, Lazio in second, Zenit St. Petersburg going to Europa, and then Club Brugge fourth. And now we go on to Group G, with Juventus, Barcelona, Dynamo Kiev, and Ferencváros. Pirlo's first season as Juventus manager, and he's only gone and got the biggest game of the group stage. After 2 games in Italy, he's gotten 1 win and 1 draw, with Ronaldo getting 3 goals. They've sold Pjanic to Barcelona in exchange for Arthur, and they've also gotten rid of Matuidi, Higuain, Rugani, and Douglas Costa. Barcelona are also starting the season with a new manager under Ronald Koeman. They are unbeaten after 3 games with 2 wins and 1 draw. So far they've scored 8 goals, with young talent Ansu Fati getting 3. In what was expected to be Lionel Messi's final season with Barcelona, I am sure it will be written in the stars for him and the side to perform better than what we remember from last season. Coutinho, Pjanic and Trincao and Dest all signed, while Arthur, Rakitic, Vidal, Semedo and Luis Suarez have all left the club. Dynamo Kiev are currently first in the Ukraine with 12 goals, unbeaten after 5 games with 3 victories. They beat Shakhtar Donetsk in the Ukraine Super Cup 3-1. They've been here before, they know what to expect, especially in a group like this. Ferencváros, coming from Hungary, are unbeaten in their own league after 4 games. They knocked out Celtic, Dynamo Zagreb and Molde in the Champions League qualifiers, hoping to upset Kiev for that Europa League spot. Pretty straightforward group in Group G, but I'm going with Barcelona first, Juventus second, Dynamo Kiev in third, and Ferencváros in fourth. And finally we get to Group H, with Paris Saint-Germain, Manchester United, RB Leipzig and Istanbul Başakşehir. Last season's runners-up, Paris Saint-Germain, so far having lost the first 2 games of the season, one being the defeat to Marseille. However, they've gone on to win the next 4 games, scoring 12 goals. Mbappe and Neymar only getting 2 each, but new signing Icardi has been signed after 12 goals in his 20 appearances last year. Manchester United starting the season a complete shadow of the team that finished the Premier League last season. One unconvincing win against Brighton from their first 3 games and a poor 6-1 defeat to Spurs. Alex Telles will be a great addition to the left-back position that has been a weak point for the team for a number of seasons. Cavani as an option up front will be interesting, the same kind of interesting that when United signed Ibrahimovic and Falcao in recent years. A tough match away to Newcastle before taking on PSG in Paris. I feel like if they go into Paris half-hearted, they could get torn apart. Paris Saint-Germain will not have forgotten the last time Manchester United played them, and I'm pretty sure that they will be looking for revenge this time around. RB Leipzig currently top of the German league with 2 wins and 1 draw, and after scoring 8 goals. Last year they battled to the semi-finals after knocking out Spurs and Atletico Madrid before being stopped by Paris Saint-Germain. They've sold Timo Werner, who bagged 28 goals for them last season, and they will be hoping that their replacement can duplicate the same achievement. And lastly, Istanbul Başakşehir, which I've been dying to speak about. They are the final debutant of this year's tournament after winning the Turkish league for the first time ever. They now sit rock bottom of the league after 3 games and no goals scored. I haven't much else to say except that Demba Ba plays for them, and I reckon they are Manchester United's best chance to stay in Europe. I hope. So for my final outcome, in the last group I'm going with Paris Saint-Germain first, RB Leipzig second, Manchester United third into Europa, and Istanbul Başakşehir coming fourth. Thanks very much for getting this far in the video. You clearly don't hate my predictions yet, or you're just waiting to see how far I put Liverpool. So I've got Elliot here helping me at the knockouts. He's going to draw the winning teams while I'm going to draw the runner-ups. So let's get started. Elliot, let's get cracking. First team.
Number 1, Bayern Munich.
So Bayern Munich are going to play Lazio.
And the next team playing will be Atalanta.
Atalanta will be playing Chelsea.
Third in the round of knockouts, Inter Milan.
They will play Atletico Madrid,
After Inter Milan, we have Borussia Dortmund.
who will face off against Porto.
Halfway through our list, we have Seville.
Who will play RB Leipzig.
And after them, Manchester City.
In a rematch of last year, Real Madrid.
After them, we have Paris Saint-Germain.
Will face off against Juventus.
And last but not least, Barcelona.
Against everyone's favourite, Liverpool. Starting with the second round, we got Bayern Munich versus Lazio. I think it's a handy game for Bayern Munich. I think they'll beat them over 2 legs, so Bayern Munich. Next up we have is Atalanta versus Chelsea. Depending on how Chelsea are doing up to this point in the season, I still think Atalanta will outscore them and they will beat them. So I'm going with Atalanta. Next up we have is Inter Milan versus Atletico Madrid. This is going to be an interesting battle. 2 great sides with 2 great leading forwards in Lukaku and Suarez. However, I do think Suarez and Atletico are going to qualify, so I'm picking Atletico. Next up we have is Borussia Dortmund versus Porto. Haaland and Dortmund will win their group, and I'm thinking a draw against a weaker side like Porto. I think Haaland and Dortmund will win. So next we got Seville versus RB Leipzig. I think Seville topping the group with Chelsea will be a great achievement, and I don't think RB Leipzig are going to be as strong even though they'll come runners up. So I'm going with Seville. Next up we have is Manchester City versus Real Madrid, a repeat of last year's fixture, and I'll be giving the same score as it was last year. Man City to beat Real Madrid. When Aguero comes back, Real Madrid are still going to struggle in those knockout stages, and I think Man City will beat them. Now we've got PSG versus Juventus. Mbappe versus Ronaldo will be a great match. And PSG done well to get to the final last year, but I don't think they're going to stop Ronaldo, who is still chasing a Champions League medal with Juventus. Lastly, we've got Barcelona versus Liverpool. Look, here it is. I don't think it's going to be a repeat of what happened 2 years ago. I think Barcelona will be ready. I think they'll want the rematch, and this time I think Messi will shine. And I'm going to pick Barcelona to beat Liverpool. Okay, now we're going to do the draw for the quarter-finals. Okay, Elliot, first pick.
First pick is Borussia Dortmund.
And they're going to play Atletico Madrid,
Next after that, we have Bayern Munich.
who will play Barcelona.
After Bayern, we have Manchester City.
And they will play Atalanta,
And last, we have Seville.
who will play off against Juventus. So Borussia Dortmund versus Atletico Madrid. Unfortunately, this is where Haaland's Europe season ends, as I think Atletico will be mentally too smart and wise for this Dortmund side. Next is Bayern Munich versus Barcelona. There won't be a repeat of last year, no H2. Barcelona will come out on top as they fight a tough game, but in the end I think they'll squeeze past Bayern. Manchester City versus Atalanta. Pep Guardiola can continue to dream as his side will get by the Italians, who will put up a great fight. I reckon City's firepower will be just too much for Atalanta, kinda how PSG knocked them out last year. Lastly, Seville versus Juventus. The Europa League champions will drop out as Ronaldo meets an old Spanish side. He'll put Juventus into the semi-finals after breaking down a strong defensive Seville. Okay, now we're going to do the draw for the semi-finals. Elliot, pick the first team, please.
First team, Atletico Madrid.
And they're playing Manchester City
And after them, we have Juventus, Cristiano Ronaldo.
against Barcelona and Lionel Messi. Atletico Madrid versus Man City. I feel like Man City's firepower will be too much for Atletico Madrid to stop. I think defensively Man City could still struggle, but I think Pep Guardiola will finally get Man City to the final. Juventus versus Barcelona. Messi and Ronaldo meeting for the third and fourth time in a single tournament will be historic. However, Messi's final year coming to an end, he will still manage to get one more up over Ronaldo and Juventus, so Barcelona to win. So it comes down to Barcelona versus Manchester City in the Champions League final. Pep Guardiola playing against Messi in what could be his last game for Barcelona. As good as City are up front, I don't think their defence will be able to cope with Messi or the young talent of Ansu Fati, putting more pressure on Pep at City while Messi gets to leave Barcelona on a high note. Or probably sign another 5-year contract with them. You know the way it goes. Well, that's it for my Champions League predictions. I had so much fun making the video and I hope you enjoyed watching it too. So I'd love you to leave a comment down below on what your predictions are. Also, what was your favourite goal of the tournament? Mine was the Panathinaikos free kick. An absolute rocket. Give us a like, share the video with your friends who might be interested, and if you haven't already, subscribe. I'd love to see it. Until next time, stay safe, take care out there, wear a mask, and I'll see you next time. Good luck.